So something I find really interesting about gray whales is that they don't lend themselves to a really linear progressive telling of history where you just check in at milestones where something happened. So I could tell you about the Bonanza years of Yankee whaling if you want to imagine the kind of Moby Dick-style hand whaling from ships with men attacking whales. There was that era of gray whale lagoon whaling in the 1840s, 50s, and 60s and into the 1870s. I could tell you about regulations in the 1930s to 40s, but that doesn't really capture the complexity of human relationships with gray whales from past to present. So I'm going to tell you a couple of different stories. One of them is after the Bonanza years of Yankee or US-related colonial whaling in the lagoons of Baja California, sur Mexico. The population of gray whales was fairly decimated. It was brought really, really low, and that was really what made Yankee whalers leave the lagoons in the first place, was it wasn't profitable anymore. By the 1910s and 1920s, some people were saying on the west coast of the United States that gray whales were entirely extinct. There was even an explorer from the American Museum of Natural History, who may or may not be who the character of Indiana Jones was based on, who went on an expedition all the way out to the Korean Peninsula to try to find these extinct gray whales and see if they still existed. Yet at the same time in these 1910s to 1920s stories that there was this idea that gray whales were extinct, people were actually still catching them regularly. In fact, they were catching them so regularly off the coast of California that one entrepreneur wanted to actually turn them into tires so that there would be something useful to do with the whales that they were still catching with some regularity. So in one period, you can get these completely conflicting stories about what gray whales were, where they were, and who they were interacting with.